Hello, PhalPals. Welcome to Orchids for Dummies. Yes, baby. Welcome back. Just when you thought he was done uploading, honey, he hit you with another video, darling. Yes, honey, I did. In today's video, we are going to be talking about white mold, snow mold, that white stuff, that white fuzzy stuff on top of your roots. That is what this video is all about, darling. I am going to get into the nitty gritty. Now, I have already done a video on black mold. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave an info card above. Also, I will leave a link in the description box below. Stay tuned, PhalPals. Stay tuned. Now, PhalPals, before we begin, I would like to give out a tributary just for one moment, meaning that I am a new grower. Almost as soon as I started growing, I picked up a camera and started documenting what I'm going through. As I said in my very first video, what makes me and this channel so unique is I am one of you. I am one of you with a rich husband, honey, who can afford to buy any and everything that is going to give you an exceptional 4K video on YouTube, darling. Yes, that's what we here for. That's what we here for. So, I just want to say that I am one of the people like you that have sat there and watched almost every Miss Orchid Girl video, with that being almost 3,000 videos. I've seen them all. And at the end of the day, my orchids are not doing any better than what they would have been doing if I had been doing what I'm doing now, which is researching for myself, talking to different people out in the highways and byways, getting collective information from various people, coming home, trying all of that information on my own Phalaenopsis orchids. Okay? So I am doing the research. I am out in the highways and the byways, honey, making sure that I'm not giving out inaccurate information. I believe back when Miss Orchid Girl started her channel, it wasn't many orchid channels with her. So it was only her and Brad. So they pretty much was able to put out whatever they wanted to put out without no one really saying, well, this is not what I found to be true. So that's why you hear a lot of orchid growers say, according to my environment, according to my living situations. If they are going to tell you that, darling, they are telling you they don't know what the fuck they talking about. They just recording what they do. Okay? And the only thing that made Miss Orchid Girl so unique is that she's reading you everything from the American Orchid Society. If you got kids and you got a husband and you got to cook, clean, and pay bills and stuff, you might not got time to read all that stuff on the American Orchid Society. It might be more convenient for you to let Miss Orchid Girl put your ass to sleep reading it to you. Huh! Said white mold on orchids or snow mold, it thrives on decaying potting media. Because water speeds up the decaying process, the presence of snow mold on your orchids is often a sign that you're overwatering your plant. You can control snow mold by repotting your orchid in fresh media and watering only when the soil begins to dry. Now, that information was provided to you by a website that if you type in white mold on orchid in Google search, that is what's going to pop up, darling. That's what's going to pop up, darling. I'm not telling you no lies. I'm not, honey, come on now. So, let's keep it moving. A lot of my PhalPals have been trying waterculture because the seasons have been so dry. So we have been doing waterculture, and you do semi and you got your full waterculture. I'm not getting into all of that, but what have you is we leave it in for 2 days or more, and we come back and our roots are brown. They're brown, they're soggy. We have white mold on top of it. Now, with white mold, let me say this. It's not to be mistaken with mealybugs, which can be white. It's also not to be misconstrued with overfertilization, which is going to be a salt buildup in your potting media. Now, all of this will be able to you will be able to differentiate in time, PhalPals, if you are a new grower like me. And the way that you are going to be able to differentiate that is by your own damn personal experience, okay? Now, it's going to be a lot of cussing and a lot of fussing in this video, and I apologize, I really do, but I am heated. I'm 38 hot right now because Miss Orchid Girl, she keep coming on my channel, thumbing down my videos, making my orchids sad and depressed and stuff. And honey, I mean, she's sitting up there hiding her hand. Now, I would have more respect for you if you was a woman and you can get on there and show your Miss Orchid Girl name, honey, and say what you got to say and thumb down the video. I can respect that. But for you to sit up there be making a fake ass account called Soho Grape and you want to come on my channel talking trash and your videos is meant to put people to sleep and mine is here to inspire, educate, inform, and enlighten, honey. All with 4K capabilities. Now check that, honey. Okay, PhalPals, so let's take Vandal Charles out and let's give him a look-see to see what's going on. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. One of his leaves fell off, honey, and honey. PhalPals, so as you can see, these roots are brown. As you can see, you got mold all over it, PhalPals. Not just in, you see down there and right here. It's not just on top where we saw it. Now, the thing about the white mold is that it spreads and it spreads really quickly. As you can see, this root is completely brown. It's completely covered with the mold, and is actually the part that sits up here that's connected all the way down here. Now, what have you is actually in the process of spreading. Now, with mold, anytime that the environment is very cold, that is when the mold, the white snow mold, it acts as pores or spores, and it releases those spores, and they're carried by the wind, and then what have you is you have it on another plant. So, in actuality, this might be the cause which I overwatered this Phalaenopsis and then it just blew and spread it over to the Vanda. But that's not the cause. I've been paying a lot of attention to my orchids to try to make sure what I'm doing wrong, especially when it pertains to some of my favorite orchids, such as my Vanda Charles. He is a memory plant. So I want to do my very best to take care of him. As you guys know, this is my orchid from myOrchidStore.com, R&R Orchids. I will leave that information in the description box below and also an info card at the top, PhalPals. But his roots was beautiful, well taken care of. I had to bring him inside and start water culture on him because it was too cold for him to live outside once winter came. So I'm not the best at water culture. Like I said, I'm new at all of this, just like you, PhalPals. So what I'm actually going to do, look how bad that is. This is why you want to catch it as soon as you can see it, PhalPals, because it takes no time to spread, and it's an indication of overwatering. Now, with water culture, how I'm having success now is not based upon what I've seen on other people's channel. It's based upon my own experience. And I'm not able to leave Charles sitting in water for 2 days, especially chlorine water. Now with the distilled water, I am able to leave him about 3 days. But what's working best for me is leaving him in water 3 hours a day and then letting him dry out for the remaining part of that day. That is what's working best for me right now. Now with my Phalaenopsis, this baby, I repotted her and she is potted up in moss. And how I know that this is white moss, because you're going to have Miss Orchid Girl coming on my channel again trying to correct me. This is white mold because, honey, once I take her out of the pot, I guarantee you there are going to be dead roots. it shouldn't be any dead roots in here. But because I have overwatered this Phalaenopsis, trying to water her along with my Phalaenopsis that's in other types of media, such as bark and the special blend from repotme.com, this moss is very water retentive. So in actuality, I probably only needed to water her every 10 to 14 days instead of watering her like the rest of my orchids, which I've been doing twice a week because the low humidity. So once I take her out of this pot, the roots are going to be dead because that mold is going to be water retentive on the roots. So does the white mold actually harm your Phalaenopsis? It does not eat off of your Phalaenopsis or your orchids in general, but what it does is layer your roots with the spores, and the spores are water retentive, so the roots will not be able to absorb water, and it will not feel that airflow because the potting media is starting to break down and decay, although I just repotted this not too long ago. So, PhalPals, unfortunately, this is going to be a lot of work for us to do, but we are going to get to it. Okay, PhalPals? Stay tuned. All right, PhalPals. So, another indication that it is not a mealybug infestation, that the orchid itself actually does have white mold, is going to be this right here. This soft and smushy part of the leaf. Now, I always say in most of my videos, the way that an orchid or a plant is going to pull back the nutrients from a leaf is going to be from the tip to the bottom. Now, anytime that you see this right here, ooey and gooey and mushy and gushy, this could be cold damage or it could be from having mold. Now, mold, it starts on the roots and it works its way all the way up to it eventually kills the plant. So that's not what I want. So it's going to be a lot of trimming that's going to be done here today. I'm going to spray the roots down with some hydrogen peroxide. A lot of fizzing going on, so that's not a good sign right there, PhalPals, all that fizzing. Can you see it? That's not good. But we are going to save Vanda Charles by any means necessary. Now, these are sterilized shears that I'm going to use to cut a lot of roots off. Because the main issue that I had with Charles is doing water culture is that his roots would not all fit into the pot. Now, PhalPals, look at the root that I cut off so that you would see. I'm going to try to salvage whatever roots that I can, but let's just give Charles a whole new start, baby. This is no good. This is no good, okay? This is no good. We're just going to start all the way over. That's what we are going to do. So stay tuned, PhalPals. Stay tuned, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak him a little bit more. This long green root is probably the only root that I'm going to leave on here. Now, you will see Charles again coming soon for update number 6, darling. Yes, honey. So, let me show you one more thing. Stay tuned. Now, PhalPals, as I said, once I take her out, I'm expecting to see some dead roots, because anytime that you have white mold, it's going to prohibit the roots on the Phalaenopsis orchid from breathing, which results in suffocating the plant. I swear I did not know I put all of this moss in here. I swear I do not remember putting all of this moss in here. And I knew something was fishy because, like I said, the moss is always soaking wet. This is a big Phalaenopsis orchid, so it shouldn't be soaking wet all of the time. It should be drinking this water up. You know I'm scary, honey. You know I'm scary. Okay, so it's a really not so good smell to the media. That's another indication. I did save her in time, so she'll have some roots left. Now, the old me would have waited all the way until the roots were completely destroyed, because now I have a little bit experience with some of the Phalaenopsis that I've already lost. As you can see, that mold is growing and it's killing off these roots. So I'm gonna cut these roots off, spray her with hydrogen peroxide. I'm gonna leave both orchids out of the media for overnight to completely dry out. That's how you really kill the mold, by not allowing it to have any moisture. Oh man. So I'm not going to do a repotting video with you guys. I just wanted you to know the difference between white mold, black mold, mealybugs, and all of that stuff, and what to do. I do apologize for going in on Miss Orchid Girl with you guys, but honey, this is the American orchids. This is how we do it, honey. We are ratchet. And Miss Orchid Girl, she is not going to keep playing victim with me. She won't even say anything about me on her page, but she want to come to my page and start trouble. Girl, no ma'am, your days of tyranny is over. I'm sorry, Miss Orchid Girl, but until next time!